Welcome to the first Tiger Tail videocast. My name is Robbins, and it is my pleasure to serve as the Superintendent of the Northwestern Consolidated School District of Shelby County. Our goal is to provide as many platforms as possible for our patrons to learn and become a part of the educational process in your school district. It is my hope and goal to provide at least one to two video updates every month to coincide with the other means of communication that is taking place within and around the district. Studies show that school and community relationships have positive results on students stretched across all racial, socioeconomic, and education backgrounds. We are in this together, and together we can make a difference for our students. The first bullet point, and I want to hit about 4 or 5 main topic areas this month. But the first one I've titled My First 100 Days. I was recently asked how my first 100 days at Triton Central has gone, and my first response was, wow, it's been over 100 days since I officially became a Tiger. And I truly mean this when I say it does not seem like it's been 100 days. Taking over a corporation that was completing one construction project, beginning another, and in the middle of some aggressive academic initiatives has made the learning curve steep, challenging, and exciting all at the same time. With the current movement of education reform, not only in the state but across the nation, we will fight to stay ahead of the power curve in our efforts, keeping student achievement as our focus and our #1 priority. The next point I would like to talk about are the survey responses. Before I speak about the survey responses, I wanted to take the opportunity to thank the people who took the time to not only complete the survey, but to provide open-ended responses as well. I have read both surveys multiple times, and this will be a data point that I discuss with the Board of School Trustees and the administrative team as we continue to plan and move forward. For those of you who did not fill out the survey or were unaware of where they were located, I apologize. I released them on our website in the July timeframe when I was transitioning from Monroe Central to Triton Central, and I kept them open until the 1st of October, trying to maximize the number of participants. There will be other opportunities for you to provide input, and your suggestions are always welcomed. The survey results are located on our website's main page under a link titled Surveys. One survey was for parents and patrons, and the other survey was for employees of the school district. There were a total of 78 employees and 43 parents or patrons who completed the surveys. Again, without going into too great of detail, there were a couple themes that I took away from these responses. Every time I review them, I am able to pick up more information, and across the board, people view our district as a good place. Many people like the small feel and touch that we have and have had in the past. However, recent trends do reveal a concern in the terms of a lack of communication and a lack of transparency. There continues to be a concern with our project based learning environment in both the high school and middle school. And again, these are just a couple of the themes I felt stood out that I wanted to address this afternoon. In the future, these surveys will be placed on our website for you to review them in their entirety. The first specific point there in the survey that I noted in terms of communication, we have expanded the platforms in which we are trying to communicate with our patrons. If you have not or do not frequent our new website, please do, as it's been my guidance to our buildings to have that website filled with relevant and current information. We are also using Twitter, Facebook, and of course, if you're watching this, YouTube for video presentations. In the near future, we'll be video streaming athletic events, concerts, and possibly school board meetings. We continue to grow in this arena, using technology to our advantage. The second piece was transparency that I felt seemed to show through in the surveys quite a bit. And my hope is that the amount of open communication that we are providing will indeed provide an atmosphere that is perceived as transparent with no hidden agendas. Our only agenda is to comprehensively improve the quality of our school district in every area. Finally, project-based learning was the third big point that I wanted to hit. Many of our survey responses identified project-based learning at the high school as a concern. My pledge has been to ensure that we have a balance at the high school. Many agree that project-based learning is a valuable instructional tool, and when you look at the high school master schedule, you will see roughly 15 of our class periods, or 30 classes, are team-taught project-based learning classes. On the reverse side, you will also see over 100+ courses that are taught as individual classes, or what we would consider traditional. I believe we are achieving a balance in our curricular offering, and we will continue to ensure that student achievement is maximized and not sacrificed for the sake of any process. Data will guide the way. The next point I wanted to address was facility improvements. We recently put the finishing touches on an outdoor athletic facility that has brought about the opportunity to provide for our community in several ways. If you have not been out to see it, I urge you to come out and take a look. I think you'd be very proud of the construction progress that was made and what it has provided Triton Central. In the fall, it will serve as a locker room for the football program for both home and visiting teams. It has also provided community members with a clean bathroom facility, as well as the ability to provide concessions for both our middle and high school level activities on one end and our Triton Youth Athletic Association on the other end. In the spring, the facility will service a wide variety of people in the community, including our baseball, softball, and track teams. It is a comprehensive facility, and I believe, again, many in the community can take advantage of it. To tie things together in that area over fall break, we repaved the elementary parking lot, and we will continue to look at the things we can do that are economical and at the same time provide our community with facilities that you can be proud of. The next piece I wanted to mention is student achievement. Recently, the Indiana Department of Education released our annual A to F grade results, and this is how Triton Central fared. Triton Central Elementary received a B, Triton Central Middle School a C, and Triton Central High School a B. Last year, I believe the results for Triton Central Elementary was a B, Triton Central Middle School was a B, and Triton Central High School was a C. Our goal can be no less than becoming an A-rated exemplary school district by the state of Indiana. Over Christmas break, we hope to have data dashboards in each of our buildings. These dashboards will contain information representing benchmarks and goals for the current school year and how we compare to the rest of the state. We will strive for quality continuous improvement. This can only be done by increasing accountability at all levels. As the superintendent of this district, I have set aggressive goals for our district and for myself. You will hear me say this a lot, but we are in this together, and the burden of responsibility does not and will not lie on one particular group. I'd like to take that and then transition into my next bullet point, which is data-driven decision making. Research shows that if instructional plans at state, county, district, school, classroom, and individual student levels are based on assessment information relevant to the desired learning outcomes for students, the probability is increased that they will attain these desired learning outcomes. As a school district, we must be committed to using data-driven decision making as a prerequisite to the effective and sustained use of data to inform instructional planning at the school and classroom levels. This means as a district we must be able to find ways to make the funding and staff time available to assist our schools in the use of the data-driven decision-making model. It also means that at the district level, our staff will make every effort to make the relevant assessment and demographic data and information available to our schools and our staff when they need it to do their planning. This includes the use of longitudinal student data so that change in student performance over time can be determined and used in local planning. Another part of this equation is professional development time. Many of you may remember that professional development time was eliminated in terms of the school day by the state a couple years ago. We must ensure we are providing professional development and ongoing support for our school administrators and teachers in using this assessment information to inform instructional planning at the district, school, and again classroom levels. As with any new initiative, we must find ways to provide the professional development time necessary to build the capacity. We are currently looking at different creative ways in which this may be accomplished as we remain committed to being a data-driven decision-making body, and as a strategy to help students improve their performance to the extent that the performance gaps or deficiencies that are documented on the I-STEP and ECAs, and as well as other state level measures. In closing, I know this has been a little quick. Hopefully it was again valuable information, but I hope you have found our first video cast of the Tiger Tail to be informative and beneficial. As I've heard from many mentors, this is a marathon and not a sprint, and nothing will keep us from improving the quality education that we're going to provide our students and what they receive at the Northwestern Consolidated School District of Shelby County. As I typically end most notes to our staff and the school board, here's a quote from two references. The first was delivered by Abraham Lincoln on June 16, 1858. "A house divided against itself cannot stand." And the second source of this quote is found in the New Testament in the book of Mark, chapter 3, verse 25. "If a house is divided against itself, that house cannot stand." So my point is, we are in this together, and it's going to take a team effort to take us to the next level. I look forward to the challenge, and I look forward to working with each and every one of you. Have a great day.